Hello there, welcome to Life Center Network TV, your gateway to possibilities. And we are live on the show again, People and Politics. As you know, People and Politics is a show we bring your way every Tuesday by 5:30 to 6 p.m. And it's a show that sensitizes Christians on the need to be involved in the day-to-day political affairs of their state, region, or wherever they are found. And I am your host, Becky Clement. And as you know, I don't come alone to the studio. I always bring guests your way, people that will enlighten you on every political topic we have for you. And today we have a very, very interesting topic, and it says, true democracy, is it the best form of government? With me to do justice to this topic is Mr.
Achinike Ahomka.
Okay, sir, please, can you just tell us about yourself a little?
Okay, my name is Achinike Ahomka. I'm from Rivers State, and I've been in the system of politics for some time, but for the sake of this program, I don't want to align myself so much with my party affiliation.
Okay.
I'm a practicing politician.
Wow, a practicing politician. I told you, we always bring the best hand your way. Okay, we have someone that we went to drag back from his honeymoon. He's here again. I know you've missed his face, okay? So we have the newlywed in the building.
I'm Israel Moses.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a party leader and a grassroots politician.
Okay. Welcome back once again. It's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Okay. So we will be discussing, is true democracy the best form of government? But before we get into that, let me read from our scripture that says in Romans 13 verse 1, and it says, let every soul be subject unto higher power, for there is no power but of God, the powers that are ordained of God. Now, democracy. Okay, let's say the true democracy. Is it the best form of government? Or the democracy you know, is it the best form of government? We will be discussing that shortly. But before then, Abraham Lincoln said something, that democracy is a popular sovereignty, is a government for the people, by the people, and for the people. The government of the people, for the by the people, and for the people. So I want to trace it to the house. Let me start from our welcome back honeymoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so what do you understand by democracy?
When we look at that definition, the government of the people, by the people, and then for the people. Now, when you look at that definition, it gives you an insight that democracy in its truest state is the best form of government, because it has to do with the people who are being governed, that makes decisions in either voting, and they are also because they feel the pain, they know where it aches, they know how when to go and run for a particular position and what exactly they want to do and want to achieve by that action. So for me, if I want to quote Abraham Lincoln, I think he's correct in that sense. Why did I say that? I said that if democracy is in its truest state, then it is correct.
Truest state.
Yes.
Okay. So there is the false state.
Yes, there is certainly.
We are coming to that. Okay, sir. It says, there's a saying again that goes that democracy is tagged as the best form of government because it guarantees the rights and freedom of the majority. What do you understand by that?
Okay, thank you. I think I will align myself with that definition, so to say. Yeah.
So it's the best form of government.
Yeah, of course, democracy is the best form of government. It gives people freedom to choose their leaders.
Okay.
And one beauty about democracy, people have the freedom and right to contest in the first place.
Okay.
They either lose or they win.
Okay.
But that freedom to even participate in the process is so beautiful that every nation should guide it jealously.
Okay. You said something that you're a practicing politician. So are you practicing democracy? True democracy?
At what level do you mean?
At your level.
Of course. If you mean to say there is not my own level of democracy.
Okay.
It's not
There's nothing
individualistic.
like
Yes,
my
it's
level
a
of
system of
democracy.
government. So
But
Okay, in our country now that we are right now, what kind of democracy are we practicing?
we're practicing democracy.
Democracy.
no, I beg to differ, sir. I beg
No,
to differ.
you can.
We are
if I
practicing
can-
democracy.
Yeah, of course, we're
That's-
practicing democracy.
I
and,
had to go there because of his definition. He said he wants to stand by, and he's a practicing politician. So, yes.
Yeah, I think. See, democracy is the same,
Okay.
but there are no two exact democracy. When I mean democracy is the same, is that what I mean is that every nation that practices that is under democracy, they enjoy the same thing, choosing
Okay.
their leaders
Okay. Choosing their leaders.
after some interval.
Okay.
But there is also an atom of uniqueness in every country.
Okay.
Social factor, religious factor, tribal factor determines how it is being played, how democracy is being practiced in any given country.
Okay.
So each time I see people talk as if there is one beautiful democracy that somewhere else or in
that we
another
are
country
seeing.
that we are looking up
Yes.
to. It's not true. It is the same. When we say democracy, what comes to mind is America, for instance. Many people use America, but they don't see the faults in American democracy. The things we see happen here, it happens in America, it happens everywhere. Once there is contest, you see mudsliding, you see all manner of things. Even till today, some persons, even Trump, I think he's still being charged for rigging. They say Russia rigged this election. They do this electronic voting, but there is issue about that. Some persons are facing charges for that. But at the end of the day, a leader emerged, he ruled, time came, they voted him out, and the system continues. Don't forget, even towards the end of his government, okay, after the end of his government, when Biden was sworn in, there was more action in the White House. White House is like the headquarters of the world.
Yeah.
Military leader, because they have absolute power. There is no division of labor, there is no legislature, there is no judiciary, no check, no balance. You understand? So when somebody mounts in that kind of situation, the people are hopeless because there is no date of exit. But democracy, you can wrongfully or rightly elect, you can even elect a good person. The person turns out to be bad in office. Democracy guarantees you the date of his exit.
Okay.
That is the one beauty about democracy that we must not downplay anywhere.
Thank you for pointing out that. Okay, I think you are trying to.
I have a different
opinion
and a different view.
perspective.
Okay, I think I would want to say this. In as much as we can say democracy in its truest state. I want to underline the word in its truest state. Is a beautiful thing. It's something every country or every nation of the world would want to be part of. I want to say, I beg to differ when you say we, because here in Nigeria you can't say in quotes that we are practicing democracy.
There's something you
Because now,
pointed out.
now, why did I say that? It doesn't have to do it. It doesn't have to do anything with region or a practice. A principle is a principle. Do you understand? Now, you can't say democracy in Nigeria is in its truest state, that we are practicing democracy in Nigeria, where the judiciary is not working properly, the legislators, there is intimidation, there is there is a lot going on in Nigeria. You can't say we are practicing democracy. In a democratic government, we should be able to, the populace should be able to say, no, our leaders, this thing. But when you come out in Nigeria to talk, you are either intimidated. I have facts. I have people who are outspoken, who have been sacked in government, who they have intimidated to a corner.
Okay.
So you can't say we are practicing democracy.
Okay, let me ask you this.
How is this governance, or how is this government for the people when the people cannot take a decision? So you don't say that.
You know you are just, so you shouldn't be boiling like that. Calm down.
It's okay.
Let me ask you a question. In this country now,
Yes.
do you have rights to vote?
I have a right to vote.
Do you have freedom of speech?
Not in totality.
Explain.
Why I said that? In the books, in quotes,
Okay.
one can say we have freedom of speech. But I tell you the truth. Put up something in the social media today
Okay.
against any government, they will come for you.
But people have been doing that.
Yes, people do. But you'll be sure you have a level of backing. You have a level of security. Now, if we go back to, look at, democracy affords us the right to protest. What has happened in the last 8 years in Nigeria? Anybody go out to protest, there is fire.
What they did.
How many of them succeeded?
Like,
How many of them succeeded? You hire gunmen to go after protesters, and then you call it democracy.
I think that was
No,
that,
you can't say that.
Hiring gunmen to go after protesters, that only happened during the NSAS.
Outside that is not the only premise.
Okay.
That is not the only premise.
Okay, I think this seat is getting hot. This seat is getting hot. Let's cool. Let's cool it down. Let's go for a short break. Then we come back. By then, maybe I'll pour cold water so that everywhere will be
It's okay.
calm. So after the break, you will come in with your own opinion. Okay, we'll be going for a short break. Stay tuned, stay set. And don't forget to drop your comments and ask your questions in the comment box. Thank you.
All right, keep watching Life Center Network.
My name is Pastor Chris Oare, and I want to challenge you, encourage you, inspire you to keep watching Life Center Network. Live Center Network.
My name is Christy Baturo. Keep watching Life Center Network.
Thank you so much, Life Center Network. Keep watching, keep listening, keep following. Thank you.
All right, my name is Godman Akinlabi, lead pastor of the Elevation Church, and I'm inviting you to keep watching Life Center Network.
Keep watching
Life Center Network. Thank you.
Keep watching Life Center Network. Keep watching Life Center Network. Don't stop watching.
Absolutely. Please, I encourage all my friends, associates, and every good person of Obi Akwa and River State. Keep watching Life Center Network.
Okay, welcome back from that short break. Okay, sir, I would like to go over the question I asked him again. So, do you have rights in Nigeria?
Of course, if you watch, even his position is not stable because they are not correct.
Okay.
Like I said, what was that word he was using? Is it pure democracy or
True
democracy? You cannot give example of a true democracy. I've said it before. There is uniqueness in every place. You cannot say, okay, let's look back when Buhari was president. There was a time in this country, people even shot poster that he was dead. All over social media, they abuse the president. From Jonathan time, people abuse. Nobody has been arrested as a result of that.
That means we have freedom of speech.
You have freedom of speech.
Okay.
And there has been protests. There has always been protests. See, there is what they call national interest and national security.
Okay.
In every country, you can go to US now, gather thousands of people and you are doing protests and nobody is checkmating it. You conduct yourself because the moment people begin to gather, there is tendency of breakdown of law.
Yes.
So even in US, they use tear gas to disperse protesters. So when that thing happens, doesn't mean there is no democracy. But there is limit to some things you do when it begins to tamper with national security or national interest. We enjoy freedom of speech, we vote, we do everything that democracy does in Nigeria.
Okay.
People think, see, let me be more practical. In this P2B case, I know how people feel. Because perhaps he lost in tribunal. And people will now say that there is no judiciary. But P2B became governor in the first place through judiciary.
Okay, so now they are
He
now
won
rolling
from
out
judiciary.
that one.
You will not always win all your matters every time. And sometimes what we see outside is not what is happening inside a court. I don't really want to go into this, but I just have to be a bit more precise. So if something doesn't go like this, the way maybe some group of people expect the outcome to be in court, they now condemn that there is no judiciary in Nigeria.
They
That
condemn
is
the
not
whole
true.
system.
That is not true.
Okay.
Some people will condemn INEC, but inside the INEC, Abia State has a Labour Party governor. So things will when election it comes with all this pressure and all this. At the end of the day, it will die, and that is the beauty of democracy. But sticking to a point as if there is no democracy in Nigeria because it didn't go the way you expect. What about other people that it went their own way? Would they say there is no democracy? Now, what about next election? Do you know who will be the president? Do you know who will be the governor?
We know.
Do you know who will be appointed?
We know.
So that's the beauty of democracy. Guarantees that even as you are sitting here, you can hold position of responsibility in government. Yes.
No, we already know.
A lot of person, a core member is appointed minister now. Did that person expect that? That is the beauty of democracy. At every interval, there will be change, and no change is suitable for everybody.
Okay.
No particular government is generally accepted by everybody. But that does not mean there is no democracy. In Nigeria, we practice democracy. And we are insatiable as human beings. We always seek to better what you don't have today. What you don't have yesterday, if you have it today, you look for another thing tomorrow.
Okay.
I know we have made progress, even though some persons don't see it. The way it is now is not the same in 1999. So there is
to go back to
okay, because you don't know. There are a lot of things that happen around us that we don't take notice. So, but in all, I strongly believe, not I don't have to even believe, it is just there we are in democracy.
You know that year when I used to take 5 naira, one naira be using to buy 3-5 sweets. I prefer that.
Is democracy the cause?
I think because we are not practicing true democracy.
Is there no inflation in UK? Are you aware of that?
There is, but at least they have a way of balancing and staying on top.
That is why it is not. Every government will do its own best. Some government will do better. Some will do better, and the subsequent one may do worse. The subsequent one may do better. It's a process. We just keep staying in it. There is no option to democracy.
Okay, Mr. Israel, I want to ask you a question. Okay, he's saying there's nothing like true democracy. It's just democracy. So do we really need democracy?
If we need democracy,
not your true democracy.
Okay, really I would want to say this. Every nation of the earth will thrive where democracy is in its true state. Now, why am I always bringing us back to that true state? It means that the arms of the government are working properly.
Okay.
Now, taking Nigeria as a case study, you have been in politics or in governance, let me put it that way. I've also been part of the process. Now, we know that, in fact, what we do here in Nigeria is selection. Selection. I would want to say it that way. Why? Because even from the primary, I have my party affiliation. Even inside the party affiliation, we have grievances. Why was that? Because somebody will impose a person over the others. Is that a true state of democracy? You can't say it's a true state of democracy. Every nation needs this true state of democracy where everybody's rights is upheld.
Okay, let me ask a question.
Not just by the decisions made by leadership, but by the judiciary. What it means is that if, for instance, somebody has power in quotes and then try to deprive me of my rights, I should be able to have confidence in the judiciary system. The legislators do not need to take instructions from the executive arm to legislate. So you can't say Nigeria is in its true state.
Okay.
You can't say that.
I think you are.
But every nation of the earth, every nation of the earth that needs to evolve, that needs to grow, needs a democratic government.
Okay, you just took out my second question from my mouth. Okay, let me ask it to you. Let me ask the question to you. Okay, are there other forms of government that do better than democracy?
I don't think it's 2 countries I know that do something. The military, I don't know that kind of leadership. I don't know where that is categorized. But I know Russia, this year when I've forgotten what they call that, what they do in Russia. Is it communism or some
Yeah.
communism?
Yeah.
Their government owns everything. You see that indirectly, they try to mix it with, they try to make it look like democracy. But you see that indirectly, Putin has perpetuated himself for a very long time because of that. Even the war in Ukraine is at his discretion. So you see that in democracy, even a country cannot just go to war if the president feels they should fight. There's a process.
Okay.
There's a process it will undergo. The approval will come from legislature, from the legislators. All those things will happen before they move. They just don't move because the president wants to strike some. You understand? So that is the danger of not being in democracy. If US were not in democracy, they will be harnessing country to themselves. They will be harnessing countries to themselves. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So you see that in all, democracy is just like the champion of the form of leadership a people should have. Because it gives the people at least the right to choose. It gives the people, the choosing may not be satisfactory, but at least there is a date to come and try again. That one
like
is very, very important.
That part is what I like.
There's a date to always come and try again. So in democracy, you leave power or power will leave you.
Okay.
You understand? But
okay, this brings me to my second quote that said that the cure of all for the ills of democracy is more democracy. Okay, can you expatiate on that?
Not
through.
No. Now, if you say the cure for the ill is more democracy, I would see it. I would rather see it as a tautology. If we had a democratic government in the first place, we will not need more democracy.
Okay.
So that's my own view. Okay. And I stand on my viewpoint. So.
So how do we cure a flawed democracy? If
there is a flawed democracy, you go to the root. Why is the judiciary failing? Why is the executive arm failing? Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so now where do we begin to listen to the public?
Don't you think that's what the writer means by saying more democracy?
When you say more, I don't think there is anything like more democracy. Democracy is democracy.
They could just say we move to another another form of government or something, but they said more. That means you should investigate the roots. And
okay, let me put it this way. What it is it's not more democracy. It's rather enforcing democracy.
Enforcing.
Yeah. So
what do you think about the phrase that says the ills of democracy is more democracy?
Some things. Let me just take a clue from what he has been saying since. Some challenges we see in democracy could be politics. When you see, he made reference of maybe party primaries. Those things are politics. And politicians are what they are. Anyway, they will always want to get it.
Okay.
Yes. So when you see politics at play, you don't use it to say this democracy is not good. The one that is at play in this party is also at play. Is also at play in the other party. Why you hear of this one is perhaps this one is a larger party.
Okay.
Do you understand? Then another thing, corruption.
Okay.
Corrupt leaders emerge from the society. You cannot use a corrupt system to now judge democracy. See, in Nigeria, we look at
Can you expand?
That's what I'm doing. You know, each time we express bad governance, we abuse democracy, we feel all those things, but we forget that our own democracy does not import leaders from outside Nigeria. It is still from Nigeria.
Okay.
Some corrupt leaders today, we are children before. So we will always produce what we are, who we are, we will always produce. So the issue of more democracy, but I align myself to that in the sense that how do we purify the system? If you know the level of corruption in the police, if you know the level of corruption in civil service, if you know the level of corruption in every sector, even go to park, this union, whatever they do, this they collect money from drivers. If you know the kind of corruption that is there, you will know that we are practicing our own democracy at our own state. Yes, so because we will produce from amongst us our own leaders. So until the system begins to set, re-engineer and reorientate, especially the youths. See, many people shouting today, abusing people in government. They are heading different levels of positions, and they are very corrupt in that one they are doing. Even in estate, street, what they call it, you see estate chairman very corrupt, looking for how to embezzle money from. But that person will come to Biafra and be accusing government, and tomorrow that person may be opportune to be in government. So there is no pure, how do you call it, true democracy, pure democracy? There is no such thing. We are just a product of ourselves. So in society where they have a system where maybe corruption is highly regulated, you begin to think that their own democracy is better. There is no election that will go and invite somebody from US and Nigerians will vote for the person, and Nigerians will vote for the person to be our president. We will still vote for our look at the people contesting. What is their precedence, their past? How good are they in the offices they held?
Wow.
So that is it. I align myself with that. We just keep doing. That's the importance of or significance of what I'm saying. We just keep doing it.
That's why.
If some people that are not happy today is because by virtue of their own candidate losing, they have missed their own target of looting. Of getting opportunity to loot.
That's true.
They have missed their own target. So they will paint the people that won all manner of black. It's not as if they are coming with anything different. So what we do is we continue the process. We continue reorientating ourselves. We continue the process. I think what the major challenge you have in Nigeria is how to beat down the corrupt practices. Nigeria is difficult. If you go into the system.
Okay, it has been an amazing time in the studio. I'm not going to conclude this topic today, but I want to say one thing I picked. He said we are producing ourselves. Like, what we have there is who we are. Like, we are having the democracy we deserve. So we are going to continue this in part 2. Who are you? Who am I? And why are we producing a democracy that is not true democracy according to Mr. Israel? Okay. So we'll see you next Tuesday by 5:30 p.m. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles, and don't forget to drop the topic you want us to discuss about, and also to put your own part of the discussion in the comment box. Thank you. I still remain your host, Becky Clement. Bye-bye for now.